Ruslan.
Carl Lentz releases a statement about his involvement with Transformation Church, what he's been doing the past 3 years, and there's additional information outside of what he posted on Instagram. Before we get into the additional information and the one question I have about all of this, let's go to his Instagram and look at the statement that was just put out today. This is in response to the new documentary coming out on FX of basically seemingly him giving his side of the story. Okay, so he releases some interesting information about the documentary. He releases some interesting information about his involvement at Transformation Church, which if you saw my interview with Tim Ross, it would actually confirm a lot of what was said. So let's look at the statement. For the past 3 years, my entire focus has been fighting for my wife and kids. My family has been my only priority. In order to do that, seeking sobriety and healing had to run parallel with those goals. Honestly, nothing else mattered. None of the noise, the lies, none of the half-truths that were said to me or us mattered. All I wanted was to prove my wife and kids that I could show up for them like I had never done before. So I think him saying that he's fighting for his family, him saying that he's prioritizing his family, I think that's a good thing. I find it interesting that he's using the word sobriety. I'm not sure if this is in the context of some of the things that came out regarding Hillsong and the consumption of alcohol, if he's talking about other substances, or if he is admitting that he had a sex addiction. I don't know which one it is, but it's interesting that the language of sobriety is being used. And this kind of foretells what we found out about his involvement in Transformation, which may shock you. So make sure you stay till the end, okay? All I wanted was to prove my family, my kids, that I could show up for them like I'd never done before. Although we have a long way to go with a lot of work, a lot of honesty, and a lot of prayer, we have found ourselves in beautiful, happy, and deliberate, honest place. So much so that we can not only celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary on May 5th. Congratulations to them for 20 years. That's amazing. But we got to do that in the purest way. Unfortunately, that came through a lot of humiliation, embarrassment, and heartache. All right. I like this tone from Carl Lentz, if I'm honest with you guys. I think he's being very transparent and forthcoming. All right. Part of the healing from the heartache led us to the decision to be a part of a documentary that we do not control, that we don't have any say in, and that we haven't even seen. Okay. So this is a part of this journey. Okay. I'm not sure if this was, were they in this space financially as well where they needed to do it? I don't know. But he's being very transparent that, hey, we do not have control over this. I'm not sure what's going to come out in this documentary, how it's going to be edited. But it's interesting that he's noting this and kind of preemptively saying, hey, we don't have any control over this. We didn't even get to see the finished one. We'll see it when the world sees it. We were not interested in blame shifting or responsibility deflection. We focus on my mistakes and the context for what transpired. I could honestly tell you that when you get to a place of honesty and freedom in your life, when you've gone through hell and you realize God is still with you, it is so freeing. It is the freedom I wish for all of the many people that I know that are called by God and wrestle with secrets and the feeling of not being worthy. Trust me, it led me to some dark places. And even though I'm at an amazing church that loves and supports us, Transformation Church, I'm no longer in ministry. Okay, so he is not, according to him, in ministry at Transformation Church. According to him, okay? And listen to what he says. I'm not preaching, not overseeing people. My role is to help give perspective and insight where I can. Now, we're going to come back to that in an additional statement that was put out. So he's not preaching. He's not overseeing people. His role is to help and give perspective and insight where he can. I can also say that what gives me joy and hope is knowing what I've been through, what I have made it past, and can help many others. I can do this in so many different ways, inside and outside the church. I'm not the first to be in the situation, and I won't be the last, but I can promise you I'll be the guy standing with his arms wide open for anyone who's been on this path of addiction and destruction. I can say I understand in my relationship with Jesus in a way that I couldn't from the pulpit. Repentance and life change is proven over time with consistent choices, and that's a road I look forward to. So he's saying it's going to be a lifetime of repentance, and it's going to be proven over time. Again, it's a good statement. It truly makes me wonder if this is what all of the pain is all about. From the lows of where I've been to the grace and forgiveness that God has granted me, I have something to share, and so does the Lord of my kids. With that said, I just want to thank you for even taking a moment to read this. More later, sincerely, Carl. Okay, so there's some interesting things here. He says he's not in ministry. He talks about addiction, and he says that they're in a good space, and that he's not going to be preaching or overseeing people. Now, we looked at the article from Relevant Magazine, who got an additional statement, an additional statement about this that I find extremely interesting about his actual role and some more specifics about this. Okay, so check this out. The family has been on a constant journey of healing through, this is a rep apparently for Lentz, or someone over there gave this statement to them, through deep therapy and counseling, the source said Carl has stayed active in the addiction recovery process through the 12-step program, which people don't know that 12-step program actually has its root in church, through 12-step programs with addiction specialists. They also have a group of people in and out of ministry who have helped guide them through a very hard time. Regarding Carl's new role with Mike Todd's Transformation Church, the source said Carl has no desire to do any preaching or public ministry at this time. His focus at Transformation has been on how to establish a better addiction recovery program in churches, including how to better surround pastors before they make the same mistakes, and how to restore and support them as people should they fall and experience hardship. We'll update this process as it progresses. So when this initially came out that he was going to Transformation, a lot of folks were like, I can't believe it. He's back in the pulpit. He's back to preaching. How dare him? Is this even okay? Yada, yada, yada. And apparently he has no desire to preach. He's not going to be preaching. He's not overseeing people. He's there in more or less, not even in a ministry, again, according to him, not even in a ministry capacity, but in I don't know how we describe it, I guess a consultant to oversee their recovery program. And to help prevent situations like this, and to walk through pastors who have been through situations like this. Kind of different if we're thinking about the context of all this. Now, the only question I honestly still have is, in this documentary and the stuff he's going to be talking about in his journey, and this, he's being transparent, he's been forthcoming, is some of the other stuff outside of the big story going to get addressed, specifically the stuff that came out about his nanny and her accusations, which they are accusations. He hasn't been found guilty in any sort of court or anything like that. And some of the other stuff murmuring about his reputation and the stuff that was going on. How specific is he going to be? How much is he going to lean into the tension? How transparent is he going to be? Is he going to address all of that stuff? Or is he just going to keep it kind of more general and more about what happened with why he got fired and the story that went viral that he instantly took ownership for? I don't know. But if I'm honest with you guys, I think this is a good statement. I think it adds a lot of clarity. I think people are going to be skeptical. And again, we talked about this in my Tim Ross interview, who's overseeing some of this process. People are going to be skeptical. People are going to flinch because of the hurt that he caused. But if he's not in a ministry capacity, if he's not preaching, if he's not overseeing people, does it change the impact that maybe he's going to Transformation to help prevent situations like this from happening, to help other pastors from going like this? I'm being as optimistic as possible with regards to this. I don't know. I think only time will tell. But I do think it's great that they provided this statement. I do think it's great that they added context of his royal transformation. And now I think people better buckle up and see what's in this documentary series that's about to come out in FX, and how gnarly is that going to be? So those are my thoughts on this. I want to hear from you guys. Does this change anything for you in terms of Carl and his role at Transformation Church? He's not going to be in ministry. He's not preaching. He's not overseeing people. He's specifically there to oversee the recovery program. Maybe it's partnering with some other recovery programs. Maybe it's combining some different things that he's learned. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments. And if you guys want to go the extra mile, partner with us for as little as $5 a month to keep this channel independent, free of any brand deals and answering only to you, consider partnering with us in our online community for as little as $5 a month so we never have to take a brand deal and make goofy commercials like these.
Our friends at Genucel Skincare have exciting news to celebrate in 2023.
Using Manscaped during my showers after workout has given me much more confidence.
And that's where Mudwater comes in.
True Classic has got your back.
All thanks to the sponsor of today's video, SayMine.com.
Established Titles is your opportunity to earn the title of Laird or Lady. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 7.99% APR to 19.99% APR, included 0.50% auto pay discount.
If you don't want us to make ads with brands you don't care about, sign up for our online community for as little as $5 a month to keep us independent and ultimately answering to you as our boss. You get all sorts of benefits like daily replays of our after party streams, exclusive access to our Discord community, and early access to our podcast interviews, all starting for only $5 a month.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan